That's where I'm at. In this video, we're going to look at Bubbles, the chimpanzee. So, common chimpanzee CC33.
Bubbles was Michael Jackson's pet chimpanzee.
This was Michael Jackson's alleged chimp pet. Look at this image. That's a truth in plain sight. They're showing you the human hand on the chimp.
Hans, that's someone holding him. That's someone holding the chimp. What are you
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Hans is so goddamn stupid. Thank you, Good Try Gaming 410 for following. I'm sorry this stream is so depressing. He's so bad.
It's not a real animal. It's a... So what are chimpanzees? You're going to see a mixture of things. Just like it's Hollywood. It's all an extension of Hollywood. In Hollywood, they'll do practical effects. They'll have little puppetry. Have you ever wondered why puppetry is such a huge deal? It's because it's one of their tools. They use puppets.
Since when are puppets a huge deal? The only puppets anyone knows are the Muppets and Sesame Street, which are made by the same company. What are you talking about?
They use realistic-looking props.
Do I think the guest content creator is his wife? It's either his wife or his kids. Which is why I'm not going to cover it. Because if he's making his kids make stupid little YouTube videos, I'm absolutely not going to subject those children to, like, people ridiculing them because their dad is crazy and makes them make content.
They use actors in fursuits. It's a combination of things.
And Baby Yoda, which is also made by the Jim Henson Company. Or at least original Yoda was. I guess I don't know about Baby Yoda. And Alf, yeah. Alf is like 40 years old, though. I don't think anyone knows who Alf is, who isn't old.
This is number-coded, if you want to dive into it, but whatever.
Yeah, Alf isn't Jim Henson. Sorry if I made it sound like that's what I was saying. No, just like Alf was a known puppet to people.
Look how...
Baby Yoda was, too? Oh, good.
What I find really interesting connected with Bubbles is a lot of tea drinking references. Jackson brought Bubbles to Japan where they drank tea with the mayor of Osaka. They're celebrities.
Yep, Michael
Like
Jackson is a
tea.
celebrity.
So, they dress it up like a child. That's the...
Yeah, Michael Jackson was a super weird dude. And I'm hoping Hans isn't going to get into any Michael Jackson stuff, because that's really not a conversation I want to have today. That would be a whole different stream, talking about Michael Jackson.
That's the programming. It's just a midget in a suit.
No, Hans, first of all, you shouldn't use the M word, and secondly, nope, that's a chimpanzee.
I'll show you Vern Troyer in a suit soon. Look, allegedly it's going to do sign language to it right here. Oh, sit. There you go. What a well-trained chimp.
Albatrotsky says, I'm so glad that nothing is actually real if you don't want it to be.
Here's Vern Troyer in a gorilla suit, so you can get tiny little midgets in these suits. And this is just the test version, so you know that the one that they're going to use in real life looks better than this. And obviously won't have cords coming out of it. Look at the tiny feet on this FTM here.
Stay on topic, Hans.
So yeah, what you got a midget actor. There's just no way that you're gonna get a
They look
chimpanzee
entirely different, I agree. They don't look anything like each other.
this well behaved. But something that's been pointed out, the ears, they just look like putty. There's no translucency to them. When you have real skin, there's...
Hans, this video's like 360p at best. What are you talking about?
kind of a translucent quality to it.
Bubbles is now in a chimp sanctuary with other famous chimps. Oh, that's nice. Who would have thought Bubbles was going to outlive Michael? That's surprising.
Ears just look like putty. So well behaved. Here we go. This is a
Yeah, he's like a trained chimp.
strange idea. It's like a pyramid, kind of praying. Just looks like putty.
Looks like an ear, Hans. It looks like an ear on a chimp.
That looks like robotic. The way the jaw's moving, doesn't that look like...
No, looks like a chimp with a jaw opening and closing.
It's like robotic. There you go.
So which is it, Hans? Is it robotic or is it someone in a suit? You kind of got to pick one or the other.
Hey, a midget in a suit.
No, Hans, they trained the chimp to do that because it's Michael Jackson's chimp.
What a joke.
Honestly, if it was someone in a suit, they probably could have done a better moonwalk than that.
Here we go. What a well-trained little wild animal. Just when you...
Yep. Michael Jackson had a lot of money and influence at the time, which can let you get away with a lot. Including getting a trained chimp. Again, this video is not about Michael Jackson, though. It's about Bubbles the chimp.
You listen to the words that they actually say, they give it away sometimes.
It was great showmanship, to be sure. All part of the Michael Jackson mystique.
There you go. Great showmanship. So here's another moonwalk thing.
Bubbles' son got better and better. Like a great toddler, he learned very fast. He even imitated Michael's most famous dance move.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Cotton
capitalism.
Candy 903 with 10 bits. Does he expect an animal to move the same way as a human? Plus, chimps are incredibly intelligent. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try not to ascribe meaning to what Hans says. He just says words.
There's nothing
Devious
funny about the
Chillster
tools
with
of
50 bits.
capitalism.
I want a list of what animals Hans think exist, so we can challenge him on that too. Yeah, Hans, if you're watching this, what animals do you think exist? I'd love to hear what animals you actually think are real.
They're probably just playing monkey noises over the tape.
Hans, if monkeys weren't real, which you don't think monkeys are real, where would they get the sounds from?
And it's just a human making monkey noises. Oh my gosh. It knows to go back to the seat perfectly and sit down? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trained chimp.
Shakes the hand. So let's see if you believe this tranny.
Strong, so he wasn't this little baby that would slap you and can get away with it. They were powerful slaps, they could knock you out. Sometimes he would slap and everything would fly off the table. Yes, and then he'd grab the chandelier and jump and swing on it, and then jump on the next table. He goes, Bubbles, no.
They're apparently, I think they're making an animated movie about Bubbles. I think I heard that. Let me look. Taika Waititi exits Bubbles. Oh, that's a shame. I was excited for that because Taika's like a really, really good director and writer. Netflix is making a stop-motion animation film about Bubbles the chimp that had Taika Waititi attached, but apparently he left.
Now near.
So we'll just watch a little bit more of this one. Just look at how obvious the programming is, though. It's just so in your face.
In a house was hardly an appropriate home for a rapidly growing primate.
Bubbles, sit still.
There was only so much a trainer could do.
Now he's out, just like a kid.
They become very strong. It sort of almost happens overnight, and suddenly they pack on all this extra muscle, and they get a real.
So that's more truth in plain sight. They just put on a lot of muscle overnight. Yeah, because they got to upgrade the suit. The way that these...
No, it's because they reach maturity, and at that point, they get a lot of extra musculature.
chimps work.
It's a turn of phrase, Hans. They don't literally mean overnight. They mean very, very quickly.
You'll never see a smooth transition. They have to put on a bigger suit one day. It's honestly kind of like trannies. The MTF trannies, they don't slowly grow boobs. It's just one day you see them and they have breasts that are 3 sizes bigger than they used to be.
No, Hans, I can tell you as someone who is currently transitioning and growing a pair of tatas myself, it is a very gradual process, and it's happened very slowly.
Look at these crazy eye sockets here. It's just a man. That intense stare.
No, that's a woman, Hans.
Male gaze.
That's not what male gaze means, you fucking idiot. Don't just say words when you don't know what they mean.
Their hoaxes are always all looped together. This thing. And they always get money out of it. Look, they got the pyramid idea, even with the capstone.
There's nothing fun
Right here.
about the
They always
tools
put
of
their signs and
capitalism.
symbols in the background.
Devious Chilter with 50 bits. Hans, show us your wife. You claim she's a real woman. Tell us why she is. Show us, yeah?
So one thing that makes it really obvious is the fake animal suits. Well, they're always so clean. There's never poop smeared on them.
Hans, do you think animals want to walk around with poop smeared all over themselves all day? Animals know that they don't want to be around their own feces. Animals will go in the corner, so it's not everywhere.
They're always so cooperative. So
If they're a trained chimp...
this is apparently what Bubbles looks like, and you won't get any middle ground. It's just, this is what Bubbles looks like now. Oh, okay. Whatever, shut up. But while this lady's talking, this Bubbles is just so cooperative the whole time that this lady talks. You go on later, oh, Bubbles is still just hanging out there. They're not...
Yeah, chimps are intelligent. They're like great apes. They're some of our closest relatives. Excuse me. They can, like, sit and listen to you talk and spend time with you without freaking out.
not wild animals.
They're not. These animals have been, they're not domesticated. However, they are trained. They're not wild in the sense that they've never interacted with humans before. They're wild animals who have been trained. Bubbles was a trained chimp.
If this was a wild animal, they would probably be hiding. The day, you know how animals are. When you try to get them to cooperate with you, they won't cooperate. Why is this one? They're always so cooperative.
Hans, for one thing, they can shoot this as many times as they need to. And secondly, chimps are more intelligent than dogs or cats or even stuff like pigs, which are quite intelligent. Like, chimps are smart. They're chimps. They're apes. They're related to us. They're very, very intelligent.
Look, they always get the best shots. They always get the best footage. Oh, you got the perfect footage. Almost like you wanted to get that scripted and then an actor scripted it out for you. They always get the perfect footage. Again, look. Bubbles, oh, you're just being so helpful today, Bubbles. You're right at the fence.
Chimps are social creatures, just like humans are. So if a human comes up to the cage, and Bubbles, I don't know how many other chimps are in the cage, but Bubbles, especially being a chimp who's interacted with humans a lot, probably enjoys spending time with humans as long as they're being, you know, nice to him. So if a human comes up to the cage, and Bubbles is feeling social, probably comes up and, you know, hangs out. Why is that unreasonable?
All day when we want to take footage of you.
Chimps are more intelligent than Hans? True. I've never heard a chimp say some racist shit about slavery or Native Americans. However, I have heard Hans do that, so...
You just let me spray you with water. What? They love getting...
Oh yeah, he probably knew LaToya too, because obviously she's sisters with Michael.
images like this. I've been pointing this out. They like to take their fake animals and put them next to a stuffed animal. It's kind of... they're making fun of the truth.
Or, again, simpler answer, Hans. Someone said, oh look, it's a stuffed animal of a chimp. Let's give it to the chimp. Wouldn't that be funny? And that's the extent of it.
They got an orange ladder here. Masonry symbol. You can just tell this one doesn't even look real. This one, sometimes, like I said, they use different things. Sometimes it's a midget in a realistic looking suit. Sometimes they probably just use CGI completely. Sometimes, like this one,
Hans, CGI, this picture was taken in the 80s. They didn't have CG in the 80s, Hans. At least ones that looked realistic. Like, CGI? Let me show you what CG looked like in the 80s. 80s? CGI? Hans, this is what CG looked like in the 80s. It did not look photorealistic. Like, dude. Come on.
I think it just looks like a realistic looking, like, stuffed animal. Here we see devil horns. And this one looks
Wait, where were the devil horns?
real fake right here. See how they look different sometimes. They look different. That doesn't look like the same thing that was doing the moonwalk. Not at
The exposure's weird on this picture.
all. Devil horns. Here, devil horns.
It also looks like this picture's been copied and pasted a lot of times, so it looks like there's odd artifacting and, like, the color's definitely off.
Stuffed animal.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Looking real creepy here.
Next minute, Hans is saying CG 80s photos are because of time travel.
They're pushing an agenda. Drinking tea. This was a very strange image.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's a composite, so hold on.
Pushing an agenda. Drinking tea.
That looks like someone has composited a photo of Michael in with a different photo of Bubbles. This isn't literally a photo of Bubbles next to Michael. He's been composited into the picture. Do you not... Like, this is what gets me about Hans. He claims he can look at a photo and tell you if it's CGI or not, but he can't even tell based on the perspective that this is a composite image. Like, he's a moron. It's so bizarre that he thinks he's so smart when he just is, like, oblivious.
This was a very strange image. Kind of doing a subtle M or the claw. What do you call it? Tree head claw, something. To me, this just looks like a stuffed animal, a fake animal. Toes and the fingers never look real to me. Bulldog, because this is a bunch of bull. Oh, they have the bulldog there.
Or Michael had a bunch of animals, so he took a picture with his bulldog and his chimpanzee. That's an Occam's razor for you.
Michael Jackson was a freak. Michael Jackson should have got his face eaten off by this monkey that was allegedly swinging from the chandeliers, and none of them ever got hurt. That doesn't make sense. And then look, they're
Because nothing weird ever happened at Michael Jackson's house that they got away. Nope, it's not what this stream is about. Not what this stream is about.
better now. This looks more realistic, the ones these days. So this is what they say Bubbles turned into. I don't know, they don't even look the same. They look just like different. Chimpanzee.
Hans, the chimpanzee, is like 20 or 30 years older. As people get older, they look different. The same applies to animals, especially animals who are very similar to humans, as chimpanzees are.
Chimpanzees don't look the same as they age. You're looking at Hollywood. They can do this. They can do this. Look, they're doing devil horn.
Hans, this is from Star Trek Beyond, which came out in like 2015, 2016, I don't know exactly the year. But like, this is not only some of the best makeup work, it was nominated, I remember specifically, the makeup for this movie was nominated for an Oscar. This also was like 30 or 40 years after the Bubbles thing was first introduced, when Bubbles was first in the news. So, not exactly something you can compare.
Horns.
You would need to compare some sort of makeup work done in the 80s.
They even tell you. They tell you that they can do this.
This is about one for a movie. for a movie called Instinct, it looks like.
Just admit that this looks the exact same as the ones that they pretend are real.
That's the point of special effects in this case. That's the purpose, and even so, it's not exact, but it looks great on camera.
There you go. If you went to the zoo and they stuck this behind the cage, you would think it was a real gorilla. They told you so. Thank you to a subscriber for sending this to me. This is a video about chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are fake, so here's more proof. Look, there's white. You can see their clothes underneath. You can see.
Hans, that chimp is wearing pants, you idiot, and the white is like a diaper they're wearing under the pants. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's like a pair of pants.
It was wearing pants, Hans. Chimps get put in pants by their owners sometimes.
Do you see that? It's like a chimpanzee pair of pants.
Yeah, this chimp is wearing pants. You can see the diaper poking out here, and then the pants end around here, and then it's the chimp leg. Hans, again, you claim that you can look at something and say it's CG, but you can't decipher that there's a pair of pants on this chimpanzee. God, he's an idiot.
Look at that. They're midgets. That's where I'm at. In this video, we're going to look at Bubbles, the chimpanzee.
We've been going for 3 hours. That's